Hel- Hello, everyone. Today I want to share about chapter 34 of Genesis. What would cause crises, conflicts, and problems of your family? And how will we solve serious challenges or problems that happen to our family? This is Jacob's family. Jacob married Leah, and then Leah gave birth to Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah. And then Rachel gave her female servant to the Jacob, so she got Dan and Naphtali. And then Leah also gave Zilpah, her servant, to the Jacob, and then they got Gad and Asher. And then Leah gave birth again Issachar, Zebulun, and Dinah. And Dinah is only one girl in this family. And then later Rachel gave birth to Joseph. So until chapter 30, this is the family of the Jacob. And then as you know that Jacob had tricked and then got the firstborn's blessing. So Esau got angry. That's why he need to left to the Beersheba and went to the Haran, right? And then he stayed there. Before he arrived at Haran, he met God and then received God's covenant in Bethel. Then he went to the Haran and then he stayed there many long years. And then chapter 29 and 30 mention what he did, how long he stayed there. And then God instructed him to go back to his hometown. So on the way, Laban chased him when he went back to the hometown. And then at Gilead, they make the promise or agreement between Jacob and Laban. Then the Bible also said that Esau stayed the Edom of Seir. And then Jacob wrestled and got his blessing. So he named that Peniel. And then he stayed also Scott and then Shechem. So today, chapter 34 is happened when he stayed at Shechem. Okay, so here we have to remember that when he left to the Haran, God told him to return to the land of your kindred. But Jacob stayed in Shechem. This is what we can recognize in chapter 34. So in chapter 33, verse 18 said that he was in the Shechem. And chapter 34, verse 1 said that Dinah went out alone to know the girls in their land. And then Shechem, the sons of Hamor, humiliated Dinah and took her because he loved her. So the father of Shechem, Hamor, met Jacob and demanded intermarriage. He said he will pay everything. At least he can get the Dinah. So Jacob's son demanded Hamor and his men to circumcise. However, they deceived, and then Simeon and Levi took revenge. And then rescued Dinah. They killed all the men of the Hamor family, and they took Dinah. So here, what I want to think about is this question: where is God in this incident? I do not mean that God is not with them. I just mean that where all these people put God in the midst of this incident. So here, I wonder, why did Jacob buy the lot at Shechem, not go to the land of his kindred? Because he left Haran based on God's commandment, God's instruction. But I wonder why he went buy the lot at the Shechem. And then he did not ask. When I depend on only chapter 34, I did not read any part that Jacob asked God if he can buy the lot and stay there instead of the land of his kindred, but he did not. And the second part is why Dinah go to the risky place? I wonder why he went alone. And then it would be better she stayed with her family than go out alone. Also, I wonder why Jacob depended on their sons, not ask God's wisdom to solve this incident. When Jacob knew what happened to the Dinah, the Bible says that he remained peaceful because his sons were out. So I wonder why he just depend on their sons' power, not God's power or wisdom to solve this incident. And that he did neither instruct his sons specifically what to do, nor take active actions to rescue his only daughter. He just remained and measuring his power only, if he can defeat the Hamor or not. I'm not sure if he intended it, but I do not read any part that the Jacob instruct his sons what to do or what he did to rescue the Dinah. And chapter 34, verse 30 and 31, then Jacob said to Simon and Levi, you have brought trouble on me by making me stink to the inhabitant of the land and the Canaanites and the Perizzites. My numbers are few, and if they gather themselves against me and attack me, I shall be destroyed, both I and my household. But they said, should he treat our sisters like a prostitute? Jacob told this one when Simon and Levi took the revenge and they rescued Dinah. But here, Jacob mentioned that my numbers are few, okay? And then he feared that the others would attack me because of this attack and destroy them. But I wonder, how about if he remembered the covenant relationship with God? Because God promised that he would be with him, Jacob, and make his family big. But why he fear at this part? So as you know, the Dinah is the sister of the direct sisters of them. So Simon and Levi is Dinah's brothers, and then they took the revenge and rescued Dinah. So here, why did Jacob focus on his weak power, not Dinah's safety? Right? He just mentioned that he just rebuked Simon and Levi. Why you attacked them? Though I have only few. So here I also I want to ask, why did Jacob show no empathy on this incident? I cannot see any empathy to the Dinah or any understanding about the Simon and Levi's actions. So in which part of this tragedy did Jacob seek God? So that is a question, is where is God in this story? Where he seek God. So let's imagine, well, what would happen if Jacob depended on God and sought God's wisdom to solve this incident? Right? When Hamor came to him, what would happen? Jacob depended on God, sought God's wisdom. And then what would happen if Jacob instructed his son what to do directly and specifically? So if he prayed to God, maybe God answered to him. What to do is instruction. Then Jacob can tell his sons what to do. He can give them the instruction directly, specifically. Maybe his sons would do that. But until Simon and Levi took the revenge, Jacob didn't present any instruction to them. So here I want to say about God-centered life. God is the center of our everything. So life, family, relationship, work, finance, church, ministry, self, etc. Everything. In everything, we have to put God as our center. Then we also have to seek God-centered family in God-centered life. If we are living God-centered life, we have to know that our family also should be God-centered family. So why? Because when we seek God-centered lives, God leads us to more positive direction regardless of what happens to us in our lives. In the case of the chapter 34, Dinah's incident would be this part, worst or worse. But if Jacob seek God's direction, I trust that God will move it toward the good, better, the best. Though Dinah's incident is bad, God will make the rest part will be good or better and the best, not toward the worst or worst, right? That's why we have to seek a God-centered lives. So I pray for your present and a future family, that God was at the center of every decision of your family, that God leads every family member to the right direction, that every family member obeys God, and everyone in your family does neither criticize nor blame one another. Instead, I pray your family demonstrate love, care, and harmony in their relationships. So Jacob, in the case of Jacob, he criticized and blamed his two sons about the revenge. It was not discipline. So I pray your family can demonstrate love, care, and harmony, not the criticism or blame. Thank you very much. God bless you.